The old saying, "In unity there's strength," is best applied to the concept of consolidation, a crucial element in social enterprise. Individual, separate producers can never compete against entrepreneurs who have achieved economies of scale. Isolated small producers will always be at the mercy of those who control the flow and pricing of merchandise from the farm to the marketplace.
One of the main contributors to poverty and inequity is the way the poor have been marginalized from the value chains of different industries, especially in agriculture. And here again, Mr. Oy made a very strong point earlier. The traders capture a large part of the value in the chain and also contribute to the high cost of food in our country. Such intermediation is possible because of poor infrastructure, poor technology, and lack of affordable financing for the poor. The value chain approach does not only apply to agricultural products, it is evident in the value chain model that volume is key. Small producers will always be marginalized from the chain at the small volume that they produce. They will always be at the mercy of those with the power to aggregate. Thus, the challenge in value chain development is in helping the poor to aggregate their product, consolidate their product, so that they can sell them as close as possible to the end consumer and capture the value of the processes in between.
The enterprise realizes profit depending on the ability of the operator to manage the linkages between all activities in the value chain. In promoting the growth of the social enterprise, the organizers would like to know the factors that constrain the growth of the enterprise and to provide appropriate financial instruments or capacity building interventions to solve the problems.
Producers, especially from rural areas, have always dealt with traders who play an integral role as financiers, haulers, and resellers of produce. These are commonly known as middlemen.
When we talk about the middlemen, what immediately comes into the picture is the trader. It's the trader. And the trader is, in most cases, the person or even an entity that producers, in most cases, transact with, because he is or she is the vital link of the producer to the market. The functions of buying, consolidating, and selling. So the agents, the wholesalers, the processors, the retailers, these are the traders operating, different kinds of traders. And with them are the development service providers, those who provide the finance, the input supply, the research, the transport, the warehousing. It's really a question of opportunities and challenges and how we are able to respond in that setting in the market chain. One is consolidate. We always hear the word consolidate, to compete as a single organized supplier. And consolidation can mean they can bring their products forward, integrate directly to the buyer, or they can do that through an intermediary. The second response is to shift to an alternative marketing channel, niche markets, and to introduce unique, differentiated products.
CRS assists the small farmers to consolidate volume because, as I said yesterday, in large-scale markets, the key is the economies of scale. And until the farmers reach a scale, then they will not earn. They will even fail.
One of the most inspiring stories that feature consolidation, alternative markets, and unique products is the story of the Eco Store.
Most of the things that we would consolidate are also food. Because the crafts like this and all that, they come few and far between. You know, you cannot, like Ligaya here from Coordinate. If I tell her, what we did is we pointed them to Cultura. SM, having seen social enterprises, having seen the eco stores, they put up a program or a section in their Cultura Native Handicrafts. And this is called Crafts for a Cause, where only foundations, cooperatives, people's organizations, and the marginalized groups are welcome to supply. However, being SM, there is a system, there's a POS. This is the surprise, I will tell you. Being SM, there is a system. Sampling day is on Tuesday, you put it in a crate, you market with your... But not all the POs and co-ops can bother with that. Some of them don't have permits, some of them probably don't have recibo, but they have the goods. So what did we do? SM said, Eco, can you carry all those who don't have papers? We only want to talk to you. In a way, it's consolidation. And Ligaya is only in Coordinet. I have Bicol, I have Palawan, and I have everyone else around the country. But something is done by me. So the crate is called Eco Store Crate. But I put the barcodes, I put the tags, I check for quality. We take the risk, okay, in that kind of consolidation. But what have we fought for? Shumart pays in 7 days for this particular thing.
Wow, really?
But a far cry from 90 days, right? 2, a far cry from discounting your check at BDO for another 5%. Look at the scale. Cultura will grow to become 42 stores. Right now, they're only present, our products are present in only 2 or 3, but they plan to have 42 outlets for pasalubong and everything. What are we asking? So we've already built this super highway to SM with things that you thought could never happen. 7 days payment, okay? 0 to 15 to our partners. And then 3, we follow the rules. We just cannot put Eco Store, but that's okay. You can go to Cultura. I'm familiar with the one here in Makati. I know they have in MOA and Mega Mall. And go to the corner called Crafts for a Cause. You will see there that they started inviting foundations and all. So those who don't have papers, go through us. Those who have papers already, go on their own, and we just guide them. You submit your DTI, you submit whatever, CTA, whatever legal papers you have. And anyone, this goes on. We thought it was only going to be for a year. But it has happened that we have continued. It's now our 2nd year working with Cultura. Okay? And there is a continuous development of products. There are seasonals, there are Christmas items, and the food is the most popular. So it's another specialty market, if you will. It is not mass market as Jollibee and Nestle are, but with this, we're able to give a chance to those who can only make 24 pieces, 36 pieces, and all that.
In many industries right now, where do you think is the most and strongest powerful enabler to succeed in business? It's basically supply chain. Supply chain are for micro enterprises. And if you want to become sustainable, there has to be some level of serious attention in your supply management. Because this is the thing that's going to hold the breath of your business or your enterprise. If you're actually good at this, it means to say that you should be able to manage the cost side of the business. You should be able to ensure continuity of production. You should be able to improve quality. You should be able to innovate out of the undertakings that you're actually taking along with. You should be able to respond rapidly to market changes. Micro enterprise has to behave ethically because it is the right thing to do. And there's an importance of ethical procurement and supply management around this particular context. So it's an important thing to carry along with you as you grow because it all rebounds again to supply management. But it's not about business, When you do something like this, it tells you one thing, that it actually rolls up into our personal lives on how we actually deal with our families, with our business associates, and with the business community as well.
There could be different ways of classifying social enterprises, but one way to do it is to examine how it is in position to a value chain. The challenge then that should capture our imagination in building social enterprise is how to expand the role of the poor in the chain in order to capture as much value as possible for them. As a social enterprise, you can actually play around with the value chain, but you cannot break it. You can only optimize it. In the future, there could only be one way of doing business or describing social enterprise development. The lines between business and NGO, as Dan initially described it, will be blurred. And once mainstream, value chain development can become the way business is done in the future.
As part of mainstream business, social enterprise should recognize the importance of managing the value chain and how to gain as much benefit every step of the way. At the same time, business enterprises need to meet their adversaries head-on by consolidating products and compete as unified and organized suppliers instead of isolated individual producers. As presented by the various speakers, the poor and marginalized may not always be able to compete in this manner, but with the help of concerned NGOs, the academe, aggregators, and distributors like EcoStore, the underprivileged can rise above mediocrity and achieve a better quality of life via social enterprises.